और ये जो त्रिकोण है, इसमें एक तरफ अमेरिका में बैठे जॉर्ज सोरोस उनकी फाउंडेशन है, कुछ अमेरिका की एजेंसीज भी है। त्रिकोण के एक बहुत बड़ी न्यूज पोर्टल है जिसका नाम OCCRP। त्रिकोण के जो आखिरी कोने में, जो सबसे महत्वपूर्ण कोना जो हिंदुस्तान से संबंध रखता है, उस कोने में राहुल गांधी है, ट्रेटर ऑफ द हाईएस्ट ऑर्डर।
Accusing him of being the traitor of the highest order was the BJP, and to bolster its point, it also put out a thread on Twitter or X to break down why it felt that Rahul Gandhi was part of a deep-seated conspiracy. The BJP says a French investigative platform has revealed that the US government controls the media organization OCCRP, dictating agenda. On 1st July 2021, the BJP says the OCCRP reported that Brazil had pulled out of a $324 million deal for Covaxin from India. On 2nd July, Congress quickly latched onto the article and pushed the narrative further. It points to another example. OCCRP began running hit jobs against the Adani Group, and Rahul Gandhi, along with Congress, followed the narrative. Then, viewers, to connect the third angle, the BJP says Soros' Open Society Foundation funds the OCCRP, pushing anti-India narratives globally. Now, if you don't know, viewers, but the OCCRP is a conglomeration of a number of journalists who call themselves independent investigative journalists, and they work together with very many newspapers around the world, including some Indian ones like Wire, Caravan, Indian Express, others, viewers. And the OCCRP, the BJP says, according to a Mediapart investigation, which is another investigative French-based platform, is completely funded by the American deep state. In fact, the founder of the OCCRP accepts that he does get American government funding. But to expose corruption, the words OCCRP is organized crime and corruption. So this is a project that wants to bring down organized crime and corruption and expose it all across the globe. But viewers, some people say that its remit doesn't extend to America. There it never casts its lens or eyes because it is being funded by the American establishment. That is what is being said. And the BJP says that this OCCRP is funded by George Soros. In fact, Salil Shetty, the vice president of Soros Foundation, they claim participated in the Bharat Jodo Yatra, raising questions about Rahul Gandhi's foreign ties. The National Herald matter, OCCRP dismissed legitimate inquiries calling Rahul innocent and undermining India's judicial processes. That's what the BJP is claiming. BJP also says Rahul Gandhi met with Mushifiqul Fazal Ansari, a Bangladeshi journalist from the OCCRP platform, known for peddling agendas against India. Of course, the Congress party went on a counter-offensive soon after, shooting off a letter to the Speaker of the Lok Sabha, Mr. Om Birla, accusing the BJP, in particular BJP MP Sambit Patra, of spreading malicious lies against Rahul Gandhi. The Congress is calling for strict action. Manikam Tagore, Congress MP, said, and I quote, "I'm writing to express deep concern over the highly inappropriate and disrespectful behavior exhibited by MP Sambit Patra during a recent media interaction in New Delhi on December 5, 2024. During this interaction, Sambit Patra used highly slanderous language against leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi, unquote. The wealth of allegations and rebuttals prompts some straight questions, and we always ask those straight questions here on this show. Can the Congress explain the chronology that seems to link its attacks on BJP to exposes by the foreign media? Fundamental question. If the Supreme Court has already wrapped petitioners in the Jamia CA protest crackdown case for relying excessively on media reports, shouldn't the Congress exercise restraint when using them as fodder to attack the BJP? It's a legitimate question, viewers. All of us, journalists here at CNN News 18, will not just accept third-party matter and use it. We'll do some of our own due diligence. We don't want to just platform any old tripe against anybody, especially those who have a reputation. Has the BJP been able to connect the dots to link Rahul Gandhi with the foreign hand? specific question to the BJP tonight. And if Rahul Gandhi is a traitor, shouldn't BJP walk the talk by filing a case and ordering a probe? Viewers, let's first go across to Mahesh Jethmalani, senior lawyer and ex-Rajya Sabha member of Parliament. He, of course, does represent the BJP point of view and is also, of course, somebody who lends plenty of legal expertise to the BJP's cause. Now, Mr. Jethmalani, the BJP has made allegations of staggering proportions against the LOP. Some are saying that the claims sound like conspiracy theories. Now, Mr. Jethmalani, why should the viewers or journalists like me take these allegations seriously?
Well, the BJP is getting at the fact that most of the disruptions in Parliament that have taken place are based on issues which were contrived by a triumvirate, right, which was hostile to us. That triumvirate consisting of the democratic deep state, deeply infiltrated by the CCCP. Then the CCCP itself, as you know, the Anla Cheng connection to the first Hindenburg hit on the Adanis has never been denied, right? And investigations, I'm sure, under the new Republican administration will be rife. And third, of course, Soros. I mean, OCCRP is funded, as you know, largely 52% by US aid and the State Department combined, and plus another 10-15% by Soros. So heavily funded. What's more important, Rahul, is that the US State Department has a veto power, as you know, it's now in the public domain, on which journalists OCCRP can hire.
Now, Mr. Jethmalani, before I ask you my second question, let me just reach out to the viewers and give them a little bit of a context. Viewers, remember that India is becoming a power in its own. It is very much pulling its own weight now on the diplomatic high table. Its companies, its firms, its institutions are also playing effectively a global role. It wants to sort of breach markets that were dominated, monopolized by American companies, Chinese companies, etc. So, if someone runs a slander campaign against Indian business czars, against Indian business majors, discredits them, countries wouldn't want to do those deals with Indian majors. So, Indian majors will never globalize and will not conquer new markets, leaving the field open for American or Chinese companies. So if the OCCRP, let's say, just hypothetically speaking, does stories against the Adani Group, it kind of becomes incompetitive when it goes up against tendering, etc., international markets. Leaving the field open then, for whom, viewers, are competitors, those who don't want us to rise above a certain limit. But that brings me back to you, Mr. Jethmalani. Why is Soros such a threat? He comes across as this doddering, geriatric, hardly a menacing kind of fellow. I mean, if you look at him. So why should we all be shaking and wondering what malevolence he can cause?
Because he is a nefarious force. Look, Soros's history starts, right? And frankly speaking, this is a very well concealed conspiracy. If you go back into history and do a little bit of reading, you will find that Soros had deep connections with the CCCP in the 80s. When China opened up, he was one of the first people to go there, and he had very good connections with the Chinese Communist Party. Not only that, he started something called the China Fund. I believe that Soros has never given up his connections. And, you know, the open society is a misnomer. I think he actually functions in tandem with two very powerful countries, or, you know, countries run by parties or a party within a country. For instance, he operates, Soros and his son Alex, by the way, are huge funders of the democratic deep state. That's one, right? And Soros has deep connections with the CCCP, which also has deeply infiltrated the Democratic Party. Now, it's all out there, right? For instance, I tweeted an article by somebody called Maura Moynihan, daughter of the late Senator Daniel Patrick Moynihan, right? She pointed out in an article, not challenged by anybody, that Garcetti, the ambassador, had taken funds from the CCP. Anthony Blinken, right, Secretary of State, had taken money from the CCCP, which he tried, before he became Secretary of State, he tried to erase. unsuccessfully, because they had already got it in the public domain before he could erase it. Nevertheless, he was confirmed. And Joe Biden himself ran a China fund. He's not a China fund, sorry. He ran a chair, the Biden chair, in UPenn, in UPenn no less, right? For which $60 million US was contributed by the CCCP, of front organizations of the CCCP. And the Biden chair at UPenn, funded by the front organizations of CCCP, right, was administered by Anthony Blinken. No wonder then that the first act is to topple, to run away from Afghanistan and bring the Taliban in, right? And secondly, luckily we've mended fences to a large extent with the Taliban, right? Our diplomatic efforts have been very good. And secondly, to create regime change in Bangladesh.
Right.
Both acts which suit China, right? And of course, America's own economic interests to some extent, and also their military interests, because they were not getting that St. Martin base from Sheikh Hasina, if you remember, and Sheikh Hasina has adverted to it. So there you have a whole picture. I mean, look, nobody can prove this beyond reasonable doubt in a court, but look at the actions.
Well, Mr. Jethmalani, so what you're basically saying is that a whole bunch of actors doesn't want India to rise under Modi. Modi, of course, has enjoyed majority numbers in parliament, except for this particular election. They actually want a weakened Modi, because a Modi who's dominant and has the numbers in parliament would be decisive, give stable governance, and India would become more assertive. So let's keep people like Modi basically out of whack, imbalanced, so that India also sort of is imbalanced in some ways and cannot assert itself in a manner that it would like to, had it been on stable ground. Now, if the BJP is accusing Rahul Gandhi of treachery, Mr. Jethmalani, shouldn't it then follow up and investigate him? I mean, walk the talk.
Well, look, you know, an amendment some time ago, Rahul, was made to the UAPA, our Terrorist Act, the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, right? And that now created a new category of terrorism, and that was economic activity. So anybody who threatened not just the stability and the political integrity of India, or its sort of indulged in violence by arms and bombs and disrupted, created terror in the country. But the economic security, anybody who threatened our economic security, and it's very interesting. Let me just read this out for you, Rahul. It's rather interesting. Economic security, and if they don't use it for this kind of activity, I don't know when the government will ever use it, because according to me, it uniquely applies, right? Economic security says it includes financial, monetary and fiscal stability, security of means of production and distribution, food security, livelihood security, energy security, ecological and environmental security. I mean, OCCRP and the people behind it, the diabolical PI behind it, are threatening this all the time, our economic security.
So you're saying that a case can be made out. Thank you, Mr. Jethmalani. Let's open this up, because we have a panel, a very distinguished panel tonight, viewers, and let's open up with them and let's ask some very straightforward questions here. Thank you, Mr. Jethmalani, but let's open this up. Pinky Anand is here with us, former ASG. She knows a lot about the law. We also have Ishkaran Bhandari, who's actually looked at certain cases, like the National Herald case, on which Rahul Gandhi is, of course, out on bail. And we have two people representing the Congress point of view, and the BJP national spokesperson, Tuin Sinha, I'm sure, is raring to go and going to tell us why the BJP has connected the dots. But before I get to them, let me just quickly come out to you. Mr. Kamru Chaudhary, this is a very straightforward question. There is a chronology. There are people who Rahul Gandhi fraternizes with, gives them a platform, and these individuals are linked to other strident India baiters, Modi baiters, etc. And then these individuals turn out certain reports, make certain claims which are almost, according to the BJP, echoed word for word within hours by Rahul Gandhi. He's sort of peddling this agenda Has Rahul Gandhi become so blinded in his hatred for Modi that he's willing to align with anybody without even checking their antecedents? These are not people to be trifled with. Mr. Chaudhary.
Rahul, first and foremost, you might have your own point of view.
No, I don't. BJP has it. I'm only shooting off their shoulders because they made these allegations. I'm only giving you questions that they are asking and facts that they are putting out, whether they are facts or not, allegations they are putting out. Yes.
Okay. I was listening to Mr. Mahesh Pranani out here, this interview, wherein the simple point that has come out, if you can't prove anything in a point of law, in a court of law, beyond reasonable doubt, then why shoot and scoot? My first question to the opposition, to the government will be this. And if you feel that OCCRP is an organization which is detrimental to India's interest, order an inquiry of the highest order. But before doing that, one day prior to the Mumbai elections, the Maharashtra elections, you ordered an ED probe on the purported AI scandal of the Bitcoin scam. Then why not order an investigation into the Adani bribery scam? Congress party is asking the point number one. Any report that has come out, whether it be the Financial Times, whether it be the Guardian, or whether it be this recent one from the French that has come out on this thing, there is not an iota of proof to call Rahul Gandhi a traitor. This is the lowest that the BJP and its spokesperson can go through. Because Rahul, whatever you do, I know you are of the highest patriot of this country. Me or anybody in this panel will die for the sake of our country rather than let it down. Whatever the allegations that are coming out, you discount the United States report on religious freedom, you discount the Hindenburg expose, you discount any report that is coming out that is critical of the Adani. Mind you, Adani is not India and India is not Adani. You need to investigate. When we raise question on
one
SEBI,
second. You talk about Hindenburg. Do you know Hindenburg itself is being investigated in the United States by the DOJ?
So be it.
The same DOJ. No, hang on. You have to make up your mind because the same DOJ is going after Adani and you say that DOJ is right. Then what about this DOJ going after Hindenburg, saying that it is actually a malevolent organization that actually tries to use illegal means? No, hang on. To short sell and destroy companies.
I understand Hindenburg is a businessman, is a business
He's not a businessman. He's supposed to be a disruptor that the DOJ wants to probe.
I know.
So then
Hindenburg has got vested interest. It's attacking Adani.
If it's got vested interest, why should we listen to Hindenburg?
Now tell me what vested interest that DOJ have, the Department of Justice of the United States have?
Hindenburg is based out of, excuse me, let me just put out some facts. Hindenburg viewers, one second. The DOJ is not going after Hindenburg because he short-sold Adani shares. So
DOJ has gone after Adani. Why is the government not ordering an investigation?
Yes, give me 30 seconds. I'll address all these questions. That's what I'm saying. Let me put the facts out. But Pinky Anand is also waiting and I want to bring her into this. And there is, of course, the BJP spokesperson who needs to answer his fair and share set of questions. But viewers, just 1 second. I just want to explain something to you. You can't say that the DOJ in America is right when it goes after Adani. But we must give it the benefit of doubt. Hindenburg, when the DOJ goes after the Hindenburg. You can't have two sets of values here, viewers. You got to make up your mind. Either the DOJ is consistently right, and when it goes after the Adanis, it is right. When it goes after Hindenburg, it is right. And if it's going after Hindenburg, then viewers, why should we take Hindenburg at face value? Why does Rahul Gandhi take Hindenburg at face value? He's supposed to be a responsible politician who's saying, I'm the leader of the opposition. And what does he wave in his hand, viewers? The Constitution. Hardly constitutional. If you go around, 1 second, if you go around purveying the lies and the scandalous, gossip of a short seller that is under the lens of an investigator in itself. So please, let's be a little reasonable. Anyhow, Pinky Anand, I want to bring you in. The one point that I do agree with that Mr. Kamru Chaudhary has made is that if you can't prove something beyond reasonable doubt in a court of law, then why make those allegations against Rahul Gandhi? Or is there actually a case that we are missing out here? Is there a case that we can make?
The case can be made, Rahul. I don't think there's a problem of making a case. But the question is whether everything demands a case or in any case it's out in the public domain. What is out in the public domain is a triangle of a collusion which is coming through. It is almost like a corporate war. You see it all the time happening. in the corporate war circle, but you don't see it happening on the national front. And what is happening today, as you said, Hindenburg, cited by Rahul Gandhi as if it was gospel truth and used. So these are the issues that are coming. Adani, just after Parliament session, Pegasus, everything of this kind is being leaked out. You've had the media part report. It's showing the indications of what OCCPR is, the Soros connection, all the other nefarious connections. What are you coming out with? You are citing, relying upon something, using it in Parliament just at the time of the sessions. Obviously, there is something terribly amiss. You can make a case out, whether you want to make a case out or whether we want to actually have it in the public domain and let the public see what he is. That's another matter. Mahesh was right. You can go under UAPA. There's no difficulty. Economic threat, economic insecurity, instability is something that comes in within the domain of UAPA. And therefore, it can be branded as a terrorist. It's up to the nation whether to take an action or not. And it could be. Let's wait.
Okay. Let me bring in the BJP national spokesperson. 1 minute, viewers, before I get him in, I just want to also put it out there that the OCCRP's founder has not denied that he gets money from the American deep state, by the way. He's accepted it. He also has accepted the fact that Soros funds him. But he says, you see, in our journalism, there's a guardrail between the money we get and what we do with it. It never influences our editorial decisions. But let me tell you, viewers, in that same investigation into OCCRP released by Mediapart that Pinky Anand is referring to, there is a passage where Mediapart says, this is very important, viewers, very, very important, that the OCCRP is committed to never investigate organized crime or corruption on American soil. So it only looks outwards of America to other countries, other regimes, that there is an understanding. So viewers, if it's not a tool really that is used by America to go after potential threats, then what is it? That's the fundamental question. Can we assume that there is a guardrail between the money and the outcome, the output that the money generates? Viewers, these are sticky questions. But nonetheless, Tuin Sinha, I want you to tell us why you believe you have a case against Rahul Gandhi. You've called him a traitor. It's not a small thing. And LOP, I don't think anyone, any time in India's history has been called a traitor.
Well, good evening, Rahul. Good evening, everybody. There are two aspects to Rahul Gandhi's behavior. One is the legal part and one is the moral part. Now, even if for a moment we assume what Jethmalani ji said, that, you know, a case, at least the way it stands today, cannot be proved beyond reasonable doubt. Fact is, does it behove the leader of opposition to indulge in depraved activity which India has not witnessed before? From the volume of information, from the indicators that are available right now, it is very clear that Rahul Gandhi has been acting as a stooge of the global deep state. And there are multiple instances. But I will point out something, you know, now when you connect the doubt, you know, we have a load of information today about the different instances when the Congress party was activated after international reports published by OCCRP. But let me tell you something which may have gone missed today, which may have not been noticed until now. If you remember, on the eve of G20 summit last year in 2023, Rahul Gandhi was in Brussels. What did he do? He was singing praises of BRI just 1 day before the India-Middle East European corridor was announced. Do you recall that?
Yes.
Now, also over there was a member of parliament of Italy, far left, called Fabio Massimo Castaldo, who is allegedly a plant of ISI. And we all know the link between ISI, CCP and, you know, the like. So, you know, the point is we have missed out a lot of information about Rahul Gandhi. Now you can connect the dots further to see how he has been acting against the interests of the country time and again. And also the modus operandi. The moment the Hindenburg report gets leaked in the middle of the night or in the wee hours of the morning, barely an hour after that, Jairam Ramesh keeps awake and he immediately tweets. That tweet is picked up by the Sardesais of the world. You know, so there is a clear pattern involved over here.
Okay.
Does it make any story? They are all foolish arguments that he's making.
You're being laughed off.
Making foolish arguments out
Foolish
here.
arguments he's saying to Sinha.
Yes.
He's saying making foolish arguments.
Why is
Adi, hang on. Ishkaran Bhandari. Let me bring you in. 1 second. 1 second. Gentlemen, let's not cross talk. I don't appreciate that. This is not a, you know, this is not a circus. If you want to go to a circus, go to the other channels. This is a serious place. We're going to have a serious, open-ended debate. We're going to be placid. We're going to listen to each other. We're going to do things the way I want them to be done. Now, Ishkaran Bhandari, is there a Cold War era-like conspiracy to affect regime change in India, to create instability? Can we sort of lend into it? Or is this, as, you know, I think Kamru Chaudhary said, laughable?
Rahul, I have applied my mind to the issue, so please give me some time.
Yeah.
Let us not go into conspiracy. Let's go by George Soros' own words at the World Economic Forum, where he says in effect that the two biggest dangers and setbacks he has faced, one is Prime Minister Modi, second is Hindu. So that is his own admission. He himself is admitting what is enemy number one for him, and he has set up a fund to fight that admission. Now the second aspect, how does he do it? There is a well thought out plan wherein his Open Society from 1999 onwards has been giving fellowships and scholarships, sometimes to journalists and sometimes to the children or relatives of powerful people, either in bureaucracy or in politics. He goes further. There is a Western report of a watchdog agency in US which says between 2003 and 2011 he gave $48 million to various Western media including New York Times and Washington Post. Now which Indians are getting paid for writing in those magazines is well documented. So he is funneling money to India via various news organizations. The third aspect is where he elects district attorneys who then can bring cases to court, not said by me, said by Elon Musk, again a person who is not a Sanghi or not a BJP person. So these are the ways in which he is operating. I believe there is a very clear solution. We need to find out everybody who got fellowship or scholarship in any position of power or connected to anybody through any of the married web of companies or NGOs controlled by George Soros and investigate them thoroughly. The second aspect, any NGO which got money through him, the FSRE norms have been changed and a lot of work has been done under the Amit Shah ministry and the Home Ministry on this issue. But preemptively ban anybody who got dirty money from the person who himself is saying his enemy number one is the democratically elected Prime Minister of India. Please remember our history from Ghori, Ghazni, Babur. Foreign powers have not been able to cause us damage unless invited by a traitor inside India. Let us not repeat history. Let us nip it in the bud.
Okay, what is this history that he's talking about, viewers? Let's not laugh that off, and let me quote to you. This is a headline from a Wire magazine article. And look at the double standards here, viewers. When the NDA government talks about a foreign hand, these people, the Congress supporters in ecosystem, laugh it off. But Indira Gandhi, viewers, Indira Gandhi came out and talked about foreign hand, destabilizing her government, CIA backed plots, again the American deep state, viewers, toppling socialist governments. And let me now quote somebody who is reflected on 22nd November 2024. So just about, what is it, about 12 days back in time? A little bit more, 15, 20 days back in time. So what the headline is, Indira Gandhi overdid the foreign hand, but some of her fears about the CIA were real. Paul Magga. This is an article by Siddharth Bhatia, not a fan of Modi at all by any stretch of the imagination. He says, quoting this individual, there was a time when India was called the Berlin of the East because it was the only place where spies from different countries could meet each other easily. Paul Magga, academic and author who teaches at King's College London, tells Siddharth Bhatia in an interview. Maggar's new book, Spying in South Asia, Britain, the United States and India's Secret Cold War, takes a deep look at how India was a theatre of intense spying from even before independence and more so in the 50s, 60s, 70s and after, when the Cold War between the Western and Communist bloc was on. That's when the West and the Soviet Union saw India as a valuable prize. That hasn't changed, viewers. So, Vivek Srivastava, before you mock, before you laugh, remember your own history, your own party, your own ecosystem's history. And I want to therefore ask you, has the time come now for the Congress party to make its MOU with the Chinese CCP public, or the terms of the MOU public? Has that time come?
Shame on you. Oh, let me start in a very acidic way. Shame on anyone on this panel who says that Rahul Gandhi is not patriotic. Shame on you. Mrs. Indira Gandhi of the same family died, assassinated by terrorists. His father was blown apart. He was there in UPA for 10 years. Dr. Manmohan Singh was the Prime Minister. He was still an important member in the party, a young man in his 30s. And did we break this country? Did we have Chinese spies? Did we have a George Soros when he could have? and this nonsense
Sir,
that is being talked about
is the left speaking? Is the left giving us a lecture, viewers, on patriotism tonight?
Of
Is
course,
the left
yes.
giving us a
Why
lecture
not?
on patriotism, viewers? Can you believe it? The left.
No, it
the
is-
left
it
are
is-
actually
it is-
justified. No, hang on.
It is a lecture on ethics.
Justified.
It is a lecture
No,
on
what are you
ethics.
saying? The left. And
It
do you
is
know
a
the
lecture
role
on
you
ethics.
played during the
When
India-China
Rajiv
war?
Gandhi was the
No, should
Prime
I tell you?
Minister,
Should I
let me
tell you
tell
your
you.
own history?
When
Is the
Rajiv
left
Gandhi
giving
was
us
the
this
Prime
sermon
Minister,
tonight, viewers?
Atal Bihari Vajpayee
My
was attended
God.
to for his kidney.
Why did Gadkari go to China
Sent
with the
abroad
team?
on an
BJP
Oh my
treated
God.
and treated.
My God.
No,
This
we are
is
talking
Learn
about
to
Rahul
respect the
Gandhi,
leader
not
of the
Rajiv
opposition.
Gandhi.
Go to China with a BJP
Rahul-
team.
Yeah, 1 second, one
Why
by
did
one.
the
Yes,
BJP
Ishkan
got
Bhandari
carried
wants to
away?
respond to
we are
Vivek
talking
Srivastava.
about
Yes.
Number
Rahul
two.
Gandhi. not
Rahul,
Rajiv
because-
One at a time.
We always
Left is
had,
talking
even
about
when
leftist-
Russia was a communist
One at a
country.
time.
Rahul,
You
left
had
is
the
talking
KGB.
about
One at a time.
You had the
patriotism.
Chinese Communist
Yes.
Party. You
1
had the
second,
CIA,
Vivek Srivastava.
you
Let
had the RAW,
Mr.
you had the
Bhandari
RSI.
respond to you.
It was always there.
Let him respond to you. I only brought out the fact that even Indira Gandhi has
Rahul-
talked about a foreign hand, and I am reading out, viewers, one more quote from this article, and let me put it. Magar says Gandhi did sometimes exaggerate the foreign hand, but her fears that the CIA was trying to overthrow socialist governments around the world was genuine, unquote. So why can't Modi also talk about a foreign hand, or his party, or his MPs, viewers?
He can, but he has no right to put a finger on the leader of the
Why?
opposition.
Why? I mean,
Rahul-
is there some,
That is wrong.
Is there
Learn
some
to trust your own
scaffolding
men.
around people?
Learn to
no,
trust
you
the
can
citizens
call
of your
Modi
own country.
a chore.
Slanderous.
No, you can call him
Rahul,
a chore.
this is
That's okay.
slanderous.
No, you
You
can
call
call Modi a
Tweet
chore.
a traitor.
No, you can call
Did you
Modi a
remain
chore.
quiet?
You can call him somebody who has colluded.
You
with,
have-
no, you just
Mr.
made
Modi
the
has
point
no
that
business
Mr. Modi has
calling
given
him
away
Rahul
territory to
Gandhi
China.
a
What does that
traitor.
make him?
Bharatiya Janata Party.
Nobody has it.
No,
Do you have a proof?
Don't be so partisan
Rahul,
tonight, sir.
can I-
Don't forget our own
Rahul,
history.
can I-
No,
Yes,
I'm
Ishkan
absolutely
Bhandari
very
wants
clear.
to come in.
Yes.
I'm not selling my country like
Rahul,
Mr.
just
Modi.
a
Oh,
short
don't
point.
tell me
To the
that.
likes of
Rahul,
Adanis
just a-
and
Don't tell me that.
multinationals in America.
Yeah. Let
Rahul-
Mr.
BJP
Ishkan
वाले
Bhandari
लोग
come.
सब के
Mr.
सब
Bhandari.
गद्दार
Rahul,
हैं।
just
ब्रिटिश
a
का दलाली
very
करके
short
Lower
point.
his, lower his, lower the faders.
Vivek Srivastava.
Bhandari coming in. Yes.
Rahul, just a very short point. Vivek Srivastava from the communist giving a lecture on patriotism is like a sex worker teaching us about chastity.
Okay.
Let us talk about V.S. Achyutanandan, who during 1962 war wanted to raise blood donation for our army soldiers, and he was reprimanded and demoted by the party leadership. During war times for giving blood to our soldiers, and they will come and talk about patriotism on national television. That's a bit rich.
Okay, look, viewers, I'm not going to pull this debate any further.
Rahul,
I
just
think
one
whatever
second.
needed to be said has
Can
been
I-
said. Yes, very quickly, 20 seconds, sir. Please, I need to move on. Yes.
You know, the debate is about Rahul Gandhi's behavior. Mr. Srivastava was talking about Indira
No, but Mr.
Gandhi
Tween
and
Sinha,
Rajiv
look,
Gandhi. We have absolutely no problems. In fact- in
brought
fact,
a
you
case.
praised- in
No,
fact,
one
you
second.
praised
Mr.
Indira
Tween Sinha, I
Gandhi
also
for
want to make it
pointing
very
out-
clear. 1 second. Let's stop all this. Viewers, enough for beating around the bush. Let me also tell you very simply this. The BJP 9 years ago moved court in the National Herald matter, and Rahul Gandhi since then has been out on bail. Has that case moved forward? No, viewers. We don't know where it is. They went after Robert Vadra. In fact, the Aam Aadmi Party's Kejriwal went after Robert Vadra in 2011. It's 2024, viewers. We were told Robert Vadra is the biggest criminal around. Has anything moved, viewers, on that? No. Commissions have been sat upon also. No news is not always good news, viewers. So let the BJP also walk the talk. And I think, Mr. Tween Sinha, you need to do some of that. We've heard it. Now do something about it. If you believe it's such a threat.
Rahul Gandhi is under watch.
Well, okay, we will
action.
see. We'll see. You can't permanently keep people under watch and then expect public to believe you
See,
all
the
the time.
point
So then
is,
let me just
can
move
you-
on. Let me
can
move
you-
on. Let
you
me
know,
move on
Rahul,
because viewers,
my point-
definitively, we've had a major development. The BJP crowned its comeback in electoral politics after the 2024 Lok Sabha setback by ensuring Devendra Fadnavis took oath as the Chief Minister of Maharashtra. Fadnavis will be ably supported, yes viewers, ably supported by Shiv Sena Chief Eknath Shinde and NCP Supremo Ajit Pawar, who will be his deputies. They have been sworn in as Deputy Chief Ministers. Portfolio allocations are going to be taking place anytime soon. The oath taking was deliberately organized to demonstrate the BJP is pulling power, its strength. It was attended by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, several union ministers, chief ministers of various states, besides industrialists Mukesh Ambani, Kumaramangalam Birla, Bollywood stars Shah Rukh Khan, Salman Khan, Ranbir Kapoor, Madhuri Dixit Nene, Sanjay Dutt, cricket legend Sachin Tendulkar and his wife were all there among the attendees. It was a galaxy of stars, celebs, etc. This marks the third time Mr. Fadnavis, an MLA from Nagpur Southwest, would occupy the coveted Chief Minister's office on the 6th floor of the Mantralaya building. Remember that his previous terms were from 2014 to 2019, and briefly in November 2019, when his government lasted only 72 hours due to the lack of majority support. The strength show will reiterate the BJP is still very much the lodestar of Indian politics, and also signals just how much of an electoral gap it has opened up between itself and the opposition that looked to have regained the momentum in the initial days after the Lok Sabha elections. Since then, it has been BJP all the way. Let me show it to you. With these hard facts, Maharashtra, its strike rate, viewers, number of seats it contested, it won was 90% plus. Highest ever seat share it has got in Maharashtra in its history. Haryana had bagged 48 seats, a gain of 8 with a vote share of 39.9%, almost 40% rounded off. Jammu, 67.44 strike rate, viewers. BJP won 10 out of 11 ACs in Dogra heartland, 12 out of 13 assembly constituencies in Kathua, Sambha, Udhampur district. In Jharkhand, the BJP maintained a vote share of 33.1%. It had the highest vote share amongst all the other political parties, including the winning combination of JMM and Congress. In Uttar Pradesh, it won 7 of the 9 assembly by-polls. The return of the BJP to winning ways poses some big questions, and let's open this up and let's ask those questions, viewers, because this is the most opportune time to also crystal gaze into the future. So, let's go straight across to our guests. Viewers, has the mega win, let's go across to our guests, let's open this out. Has the mega win in Maharashtra returned BJP to pole position? And I want to go straight across to Rohit, senior journalist, Mr. Chandravakar. He is here with us. How do you see this? Because many people are now saying that the road to 2029, I know it sounds so presumptuous speaking in 2024 end as we go into 2025, about 2029, but sometimes momentum can carry us through. And had the BJP lost this one, or even the previous two, there would have been a lot of people writing off the BJP and saying that the entire scenario in India has changed. BJP's epitaph would have been written. Am I right or wrong, Rohit Chandravakar?
You're right, Rahul, and state after state, and the big states that matter, whether it is Haryana or Maharashtra, the bigger picture, obviously, you can see better from Delhi, but the bigger picture from view from Maharashtra also is that BJP seems to be doing many things right. See, what has given them the edge this time is 2 or 3 things. Firstly, the Ladki Behin Yojana, direct benefit transfer to farmers also, to women also, identifying women as a voter unit, which can be addressed or which can be targeted, the way you can look at it. I mean, you can look at it from both angles, and they can be brought in for voting in larger numbers, which happened 5.6% additional voting by women this time. Factor number 1. Factor number 2 is, all the strategies of working on what the opposition has done during the Lok Sabha polls, countering that, as in playing the Hindutva narrative in the last phase of campaigning. That also worked. And then a few other things like, independent candidates contesting, using other tactics that are usually used in election, etc. All that has finally, Rahul, worked in Maharashtra like never before.
Okay.
And like you mentioned, they've got 132, which is an unprecedented number.
Yes.
Now, the BJP is already talking in Maharashtra about fighting 2029 assembly also. Forget about Lok Sabha, but assembly also as Shat Pratishat BJP, Shat Pratishat Bhajapa, which has been the strategy for a long time.
Yes.
And alliance partners have also done well. Everybody has got more seats than what was expected.
Okay.
Of course, there are some challenges, like keeping the alliance partners happy in the short run.
Those are, I'm sorry to say, but I suppose run-of-the-mill challenges that political parties have to adjust to if they're running a sort of coalition. Those tugs and pressures, of course, exist. But let me bring in the NCP Sharad Pawar faction, Anish Gawande. Mr. Gawande, look how fortunes have turned. I'm asking you very simply this. Does India Alliance now need both a message and a messenger? Perhaps first a messenger, then a message. Sharad Pawar is finished, many people are saying. This is the swan song. He's over and done with. You have nobody who can take the charge forward. The pivot of the India Alliance no longer exists. LOP, Rahul Gandhi is struggling. Credibility at an all-time low. Can't even take his own party across the threshold. One of the reasons why you got shattered in Maharashtra is because of poor showing of the Congress. You need both a message and a messenger. Is there any point denying it?
Rahul,
The TMC says give it to Mamata Banerjee to run the India Alliance. I am not saying it.
Rahul, to say that Sharad Pawar is finished is a mistake many have made in the past.
What has he done? Hang on, excuse me, Mr. Gawande. What has Sharad Pawar done? Has he ever won the state of Maharashtra on his own? I'm asking you.
No.
He's a creation of the Maratha media, Maharashtra media. Let's keep it to that, please. Fixers in politics come and go, many people will say. Okay, I'm not saying it, the BJP is saying it. Fixers come and go. They say that those individuals who actually are very, very quality orientated stay. Quality stays, fixers go. That's the BJP. They're saying it. I'm only throwing that at you. And I'm asking you, what has Sharad Pawar done to justify this big billing? Could he save in 2009 the UPA government from imminent collapse? No, he couldn't. Could he save it in 2014?
He had an instrumental role to play in that UPA government coming to power in 2004 against Atal Bihari Vajpayee.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. That was 20 years ago, sir. What's he done since then? He couldn't even keep his party together. I'm asking you, Mr. Gawande.
I think Pawar Sahib does not need me to defend him.
Don't be so parochial. I'm asking you a larger question. Forget about Sharad Pawar. Chalo. Excuse me for raising that issue of hurting your sentiments, but just let's talk in a bigger sort of, number and narrative. If the TMC says we have no confidence in Rahul Gandhi, you've heard them. If the SP doesn't believe in Rahul Gandhi's agenda and wants to do its own thing, clearly there's something wrong, isn't there, Mr. Gawande?
No, Rahul, we've been very clear that our principles are of a centre-left political party that has the ideals of Shivshankar Phule Ambedkar as our guiding force. The India Alliance remains strong as ever. Look at the performance in Parliament right now. Look at the way in which issues are being raised consistently. I think the India Alliance goes beyond a single individual or a single political party. To claim that any single party is heading it or that any single party is solely responsible for it is then to demean the alliance. I think the reality is that the India Alliance stands very firmly together.
Okay, so you don't need a message or a messenger. You're doing a fantastic job. Look at the way we are rallying. We are rallying and setting the narrative in Parliament. BJP national spokesperson, please respond.
Well, Rahul, since the NCP Sharad Pawar spokesperson is there on the show, let me give you some data. In the last 6 assembly elections in Maharashtra, Sharad Pawar has managed to win 296 seats for his party. In the last 3 assembly elections, in Maharashtra, Devendra Fadnavis has won 359 seats for BJP. So that explains how big the difference today is between the BJP and the opposition parties. The BJP today is in a resurgent mode, and I would attribute 3 factors for it. One is the united Hindu Samaj. The Ek Hai to Safe Hai message has gone across, percolated down to every segment of society, and people are voting en masse for the BJP. Number 2, they realize we are better off in managing the economy and the infrastructure. And number 3, we are better off executing the social welfare schemes. The Ladki Behan Yojana being executed with such precision in such a short period of time is the best example of that. So from here, wait till the Bengal elections, and Bengal elections will be the real game changer. We won't need elections in 2029 because that's how confident we are at this point of time.
Okay, but 1 second, Mr. Rohit Chandrakar, very quickly. Do you believe the India Alliance really needs to now look within for a message, number 1, and a messenger, or everything is okay? We should just go by their parliament performance.
No, I think India Alliance needs a rejig, and you don't need an expert or an experienced journalist. You don't need an experienced journalist or an expert to tell you that. It's very obvious, looking at the way things went in Haryana as well as in Maharashtra. Obviously, there are many things that have to be fixed, but maybe in the long run they'll work on that and do something about it.
Time is of the essence, viewers, because even 5 minutes, 6 minutes is a very long time in Indian politics. Time is of the essence. If the India Alliance keeps thinking, keeps cogitating, it might just miss the bus. And the BJP will cement its place once again as the lodestar of Indian politics, which it can, of course, the India Alliance can ill afford. Viewers, let's move on, because I want to focus a little bit more on a very important story about double standards. At least that's what it's coming across as, and I would happy to be corrected. Last year, in the heart of Chennai, members of Walk for Palestine, an Instagram initiative, held a protest. You can see it on the right of your screens, to raise awareness and garner support to end what they called was the ongoing genocide in Palestine and call for a ceasefire of Israel's military onslaught in Gaza. The group was allowed to protest without any hindrance. No one was arrested. No one was forcibly pushed into police buses and evacuated. You can see them. They're all there. This is last year, viewers. But the same courtesy was denied to a group of BJP state leaders who sought to protest the arbitrary and xenophobic attacks on Hindus in Bangladesh. The different treatment meted out to the two groups has once again prompted some to ask if the DMK is biased against Hindus. Remember what their leaders have been saying in the past years about Sanatan Dharma, for instance? Let's just go straight across to Tamilisai Sundararajan, former governor Telangana and senior leader of the Tamil Nadu BJP, and Vivek Srivastava, left leader. I want to first begin with you, Ms. Sundararajan. Tell us why you were all bundled up and put into a bus and evacuated from there. Were you resorting to violence? Were you saying nasty things about the chief minister? Were you making this about domestic politics? Or were you just focusing on a foreign government doing what they should not be doing to their minorities? Please explain first.
Actually, we just gathered. We asked permission for an agitation. That is the Bangladesh Hindu Rights Retrieval Committee. We are the part of it. And most important leaders, except two districts, that is the flood-affected districts of Pilippuram and Kadalur, all the 36 districts, we planned a peaceful protest. They didn't even allow us to talk. You are asking whether we express some derogative words or we express an anti-government sentiments or words against the government. No, we just gathered. They didn't even allow us to gather, and immediately they took away, forcibly took away from the site, and we were kept in police custody for more than almost 10 hours, and we were released only by 6:30, 7 o'clock. Almost all the leaders faced this. So even the women also participated, the public women also participated. They wanted to keep them also in the police custody. We are asking, you talked about the agitation in the last year. I am telling Amaran, a picture about the martyr, and it is a biopic, and the SDBI was agitating against the pic, and they were allowed to talk, they were allowed to go on procession, and they were allowed to enter the cinema theaters, but biased feeling, attitude and activity against Hindus, always the DMK government is a pseudo-secular government. And it is totally anti-Hindu.
Okay, let me bring in Mr. Vivek Srivastava, who's the left leader, and of course the left does give support to the DMK government in Tamil Nadu. You also, of course, had an alliance, pre-poll alliance there in Tamil Nadu, Mr. Srivastava. Is it a crime to speak up for the rights of Hindus who are being butchered in Bangladesh, in the state of Tamil Nadu, sir? Can I ask you this? Is it a crime? Should it be considered one? Should people be detained, rounded up, shoved into a bus, treated like convicts?
Yes, that was the right thing to do, because we don't want communal bigots to be coming in Tamil Nadu and disturbing the communal peace of the state. It is the state in peace.
Communal?
I mean, it is the same religion.
Who is going to be disturbed?
And the Dalits. Let me complete.
No, who will be disturbed?
This is the same state where the Dravids and the Dalits were dominated by the Brahminical supremacy. We know how, in the name of religion, exploitation has taken place earlier. And now the BJP wants to play a Hindu versus a Muslim card. We don't want you to be coming over here and showing.
So hang on. When groups are going out there and when groups are going out there and fighting for the rights of Muslims who are being attacked in Gaza, then it's okay. Then no one is playing Muslim and Hindu politics. But when the BJP wants to speak up for Hindus, because no one else is doing so, and it wants to speak up for Hindus in Bangladesh, it's a problem for you. Hindu lives don't matter.
No, let the BJP speak for the Hindus and the Muslims both in this country first. Batenge to katenge. Kaun katega? Muslim katenge.
Does the BJP not speak for Muslim interests in this country? What are you saying? What are you saying? Show me one particular policy from the BJP government at the center that discriminates against Muslims. No, show me one, sir. Show me one. One policy. Point
No,
the
no,
policy.
I'm very clear. If we, sir, listen, if we protest
What
for
did you
Palestine,
mean by this?
Rahul,
Hang
if
on,
we
one
protest
second.
for
Let me,
Palestine-
okay, one second,
Yeah.
one second. Let me bring in Tamil Sai Soundarajan back again. You are trying to play the Hindu-Muslim card, says Vivek Srivastava. Would you like to respond to him?
No, it was a very planned, peaceful protest. We didn't even allow to talk. As you asked, if we have begun to talk about something, whether there is divisive politics or there is opinion against
Madam,
the
we have seen your piece in
Muslim
Sambal, Uttar
population.
Pradesh recently.
No,
What about
you
that?
talk about Tamil Nadu?
No, what about that?
You talk about
There were
Tamil
people
Nadu?
who were firing at the state there.
Yeah.
You want to
And
There were
replicate the
Islamists
same
who
in
were
Tamil Nadu
shooting
and we
with
won't allow
Pakistan
it.
ammunition
Be very careful.
against the
Yeah.
Indian state. So Vivek Srivastava, don't try to be too smart here. The point of the matter is you want to play to your political gallery, etc., etc.
I'm
You're free
asking
to
one
do so.
question.
But one second,
No,
let me
I'm
just tell you,
asking-
viewers, look at it objectively. Just look at it objectively. Look at these two pictures. One second, lower everyone's faders. I need to wrap out, but I just want viewers, and I'm not going to get into a large dispute or discourse. You just look at the two sets of pictures, viewers. Individuals who are close to the ruling establishment, groups who are close to the ruling establishment in Tamil Nadu, who have an ideological connect with that ruling establishment, they can come out and demand the rights of Muslims in Palestine should be secured. Another political party in a democratic country like ours, the BJP, comes out and speaks up for Hindu rights. Not Hindus in India, Hindus in Bangladesh who are being butchered by a foreign government are locked up and thrown into jail. Viewers, where is our sense of duty to human rights? Universal language of human rights. Think about that. I'll leave it at this, viewers, and then you ask yourself certain questions.
Presented by
So we're just a little bit before. I know it's not here. Okay.
2 minutes.
here. Town line. Okay.
2 minutes. Okay.
So we're just a little bit before. I know it's not here. Town line. Okay.
2 minutes. Okay.
Hello, Namaskar. This is First Post and you're watching Vantage with me, Palki Sharma. Every day we tell you about wars and conflicts. In West Asia, in Ukraine, in Africa, we talk about tensions building elsewhere. Tonight we'll tell you who is winning all these wars. The Americans. They make up more than 50% of all weapons sales in the world. Their companies rake in the profits and control the outcomes of battles in distant lands. It gives the US immense power. So for all